All Reason No Logic, hosting King of the Hill lobbies, most Sundays. Join our Discord to be part of the action. See you in game, Commanders. Beyond All Reason fans, welcome to King of the Hill by All Reason No Logic. Experience 2 or more teams facing off in epic scale warfare, where the Horde gang up on the Kings of the Hill. Kings start off with an economic bonus. They do their best to defend an onslaught after a no-rush timer expires. Test out your micro and defend against multiple players in variations of this game mode. Or be part of the masses. Team up with your allies to topple the throne in a glorious victory. All Reason No Logic, hosting King of the Hill lobbies, most Sundays. Join our Discord to be part of the action. See you in game, Commanders. Beyond All Reason fans, welcome to King of the Hill by All Reason No Logic. Experience 2 or more teams facing off in epic scale warfare, where the Horde gang up on the Kings of the Hill. Kings start off with an economic bonus. They do their best to defend an onslaught after a no-rush timer expires. Test out your micro and defend against multiple players in variations of this game mode. Or be part of the masses. Team up with your allies to topple the throne in a glorious victory. All Reason No Logic, hosting King of the Hill lobbies, most Sundays. Join our Discord to be part of the action. See you in game, Commanders. Beyond All Reason fans, welcome to King of the Hill by All Reason No Logic. Experience 2 or more teams facing off in epic scale warfare, where the Horde gang up on the Kings of the Hill. Kings start off with an economic bonus. They do their best to defend an onslaught after a no-rush timer expires. Test out your micro and defend against multiple players in variations of this game mode. Or be part of the masses. Team up with your allies to topple the throne in a glorious victory. All Reason No Logic, hosting.
Hello, hello, everyone. All right, we're just about ready to kick things off. We just need 2 more kings. And 1 more. Who's going to jump down? Hey Stuart, going well. First day that I wasn't outside doing manual labour on the house in a long time on a weekend because I was inside. It was raining. A high bonus for Kings today. They did lose last week, so like that's what they got. Thanks for kicking these off, Chrono. How are you guys? How are you guys going? Yes, Pradith will be here shortly. He's just decided to rock up late today.
Welcome, Commander.
Oh, we got 2-3 Chef Kings. Definitely worth the 50% bonus. Good luck, good luck. Gonna grab some rules to paste in game. Okay. I think we're just about good to go. Everyone placed. Now we got some movement. All right. Hey.
Battle started.
Let's get kicked off our first match of the evening or day, wherever you are in the world. Most of the people in this server, Aussies. The AllReasonNoLogic usuals. Practicing a few of these games before the event tonight. If you want to ever check that out, just jump on our Discord. I'll post a link shortly. Okay, King of the Hill. 5 kings in the middle. Got a bigger bonus than usual. These 5 guys in the middle with Legion enabled, by the way, for the first time in a while on Claymore. 50% bonus, or if you're in the case of Oodles, 51. I think that's a slip of the mouse. These guys having 5 more bonus than usual, and that might be because 2 of them have got FCK, God, and XRST, both 3 chefs, so a little bit less experienced. First time in the middle. Oodles, Mazza, Potato, they know exactly what they're doing. Let's see if that extra 5% bonus can do them well. Oh, thanks for the reminder, guys. Not a full screen game. There's just a little bit of advertisement there for the Bar CDU event coming up. Cheers for that, guys. Switching over. Okay, I'll update those scores from last week where we saw pretty even games. This week, hopefully we get the same even kings and peasants win rate is what we want to see. So through these first 10 minutes, it's going to be a little bit different watching Legion. Of course, their mexes don't produce as much metal as we usually see out of the ore and arm extractors. You can see there 2 versus, what's this? Not even showing up. That does not make sense. 2 and 2. I think that's a bug. That is a bug. I can tell you they're producing more than that right now because this guy is on 12 metal a second. So they're producing 3 each. Whereas the Legion produces 1 point. Was it 0.75 or 0.5? Maybe what you guys can tell me. What does Legion metal extractor produce compared to the others? Because I never play Legion, ever.
Pretty sure it's 1.8.
Oh, he's back.
That's 0.8.
0.8. So, one thing they do have, of course, though, you can see they're selecting constructor and going into economy. You can build those overcharge. Oh, overcharge, is that disabled? It's disabled.
Why would the overcharge be disabled? The overcharge is the best bit.
It's disabled, so that will change what you do. Means you don't have to produce as much wind, but that's really going to make it harder as Legion to get to that T2 phase of the game. So this scribbled out area here, you can see in this bottom lane in pink, this is where no one is allowed to go for those first 10 minutes. I was a funny story. I was in the practice lobby before this game trying to terraform this area, which I learnt you shouldn't do during a game, only before a game, because it will absolutely wreck the game, pause it and make all the players restart to the start of the game. So hopefully that's something that we can fix and get happening in the future, because I would love to see the kings and peasants fully separated, which will, I'm sure, come in the future. We got 4 minutes down, T2 labs coming up for the kings. Do we have any commie ecos producing the same?
And welcome to the official stream. That one has just come live now. So good day, everybody.
Nice. I might throw a shared stream invite across there. Well, I'm assuming you've joined this game now, Pradith?
Oh no, I'm just hanging out in the lobby. I figured it'd be so close to over, I'd just let it play out.
PS, thanks for putting that CDU advertisement up there, Prey. I of course accidentally left it on that screen about 20 minutes to the game that you usually do. But yeah, we'd love to see that event sell out, because selling out simply means that it will happen again in the future each year. So I definitely encourage anyone that's in or near Sydney to go and partake. I think there's something like 64 seats available. It'll be fun having a whole bunch of players, new and old, new and existing, going there playing in a what looks like a pretty crazy like arena. Didn't even know we had those here in Australia. I think you usually see overseas.
We will talk a lot more about it in between games as well. And we're just going to keep hyping it up until the actual event itself, because we think that building these things is pretty important, since it's the community that's helped us build King of the Hill. And hopefully we can get some tournaments running over time. And if we have all the infrastructure and all of the plans down before the Steam release, it means that we'll be able to run some pretty flawless ones after the Steam release, which will be very nice.
There, right there, Maz has just reclaimed that T2 lab so that he can get all the T2 mexes upgraded quite quickly. But I've seen this out of Mazda in the past. Not enough build power. You really want to have about 6 of these things down when you get the T2 reclaimed, and prioritize them, because even though they're building relatively quickly, they'll end up coming up faster if you just put that build power down and go back to it. Oodles investing heavily into wind. We've got 111 windmills up on the screen, bringing in right now 3,200 energy per second.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Wind's high. No energy storage, so yeah, if it drops down to 6, that's still not bad at 6. It's still going to be like near, yeah. Anywho,
it's still going to be about 1,200 energy, which is pretty strong.
Yeah, he's got 11 constructors, so very heavy on the constructors.
Yeah.
And you know what? He's going to easily get down a couple fusions as well.
Yeah.
Just having this extra eco. Did we do it too early?
Well, we've talked about this a fair bit in the past, and it's a game of what you want to achieve. Oodles is going for the 2 fusions, but based on his build power right now, it's going to be about 30 to 40 seconds per fusion. There you go. So about 30 seconds per fusion. he's going to be running into that 8-minute mark with no metal left. Plus, he's going to have trouble getting that conversion down. He has the T2 lab, which he could use to build the fusion reactors. But it's definitely a balance game. He's got no defenses. He's got little build power where the defenses are being built. It could come down to what his opponents do. Right now, it's looking like he might be in okay position, but it's this early investment probably has stretched it a little bit too far. But if he makes it to 11 minutes, he'll be in a very good spot.
Yeah, he's going for that second fusion. 2 minutes left. I think he has more than enough energy, and you can see right now 2,000 energy more produced than he's spending. So investing in that conversion is probably more important right now. Getting a bit more build power down, and then going more into those units. Building twin guards at the same time, so that's draining his resources. But you know what? I'm just looking at his opponents. I think he's going to be fine, and I think he's going to.
Yeah, I actually think he's going to be fine. He shouldn't be. He definitely shouldn't be, but I think he is. And that's going to give him a massive advantage going into the mid game.
Morning Phoenix on the north of the map, also going heavily into those wins and getting quite a handsome eco up as a peasant, building that second metal extractor. I think they're going to probably a little bit shy on units at the 10-minute mark there, especially with wind down at 6 right now. That's really hurting. Dominus on the other hand, getting that advanced bot lab up. I reckon he's going for a fat boy build. Has he queued it? I saw him practicing before this game, and he's found out that if you build a fat boy, they actually traverse relatively well around the edge of these cliffs where you usually see the spiders, and they can shoot up and over. And
that's disgusting.
Things like incisors and laser, they can't actually shoot down the hill to kill it. So yeah, he's doing just that. So keep an eye over there. But it only works if you can get the fat boy up to that cliff.
Well, having a look at Oodle's build, I think he's actually going to be in an okay spot. He would struggle against some of the larger 10-minute rushes, but that's not what he's up against. The Twin Guards are going to take care of a lot of what's coming through.
He's got
then he's got a small T2 force. So I think he's actually hit the nail on the head.
Summos are actually awesome right now. He's popping down that Persecutor as well, which I love to see and do myself. The Persecutor's pretty good at taking out anything like some early sharpshooters or the Fat Boys. And 4 seconds left. I'm going to kick this off. Where are we going to look? I reckon probably those top 2 lanes. Well, actually, Oodle's lane is going to be rushed. What's going to happen though?
It's certainly going to be. I think well, since these are gremlins. Oh no, they're satyrs. Even still, I think that Oodles has got is gonna live this. There's so many Twin Guard here to deal with all of the spam, and the sumos have cleaned up the rest. Now the satyrs are coming in, and the satyrs are going to take such a pounding from the T2 units. Even the Webbers trying to punch their way in. It's not going to be enough. The defenses have held, the long range from the Sheldons have made the difference, and that is the 10-minute attack repelled, and because of the 100 wind and the double fusion, Oodles is in a great spot moving forward.
Alright, let's rotate around clockwise to check out Dominus versus Potato with Morning Phoenix over on that top left. They're trying to build up units, and he is trying to get that Fat Boy up and around the corner, but these Gladiators really pack out a punch. They do have a good range at 600. They T2. They are T2.
They are T2.
I am still terribly learning Legion. He really wants to get it onto the edge of that cliff. Not happening though.
With the Gladiators being pulled out of position, if those blitzers had tried to go through the middle, I think they would have had a good spot. But they've made it in.
They have.
Potatoes let them in.
He saw the spiders coming, so he's focused on the build power and forgot to send units. And now Dominus is going to trade his
Com's getting good D-guns.
Oh, not trading.
But
7%
oh
left.
no. I reckon that's going to be enough to break Potato.
If he gets the build power, is he going to go for the... Oh, there's a spider there.
Oh, the build power is eating those blitzers very quickly, though. Saves it.
And his commander, though, just gets the D gun out. Is the Fat Boy going to get here in time? So the miss micros here. pulling back, I feel like that's not the answer, especially with the commander
Yeah,
that
I wouldn't
low.
pull back in this situation. You've invested a lot to get that fat boy out. It's got to do something. And right now, Potato is at the weakest he's ever going to be, with barely any metal production, with barely any build power. It's only going to get worse from here.
Those blitz coming on the left, I think they're going to get in. Are they going to focus on the build power this time?
You have to focus the build power once you get into the base, because the build power is what's been eating these.
Yeah, it's just doing it so well too. And now there's a Medusa up. These are, once again, not going to push in. Let's zoom down to the bottom, though. One of our new T, what is it, not T? 3 Chev players. Although they did quite well, they got all their eco upgraded and T2 out with some twin guards. You can just see the massacre that's occurred on their base. And they're struggling to get units out right now. Reclaiming would be what's really important, I reckon. Having Fiends and Sheldons out is nice. But with this sharpshooter down the south and spam building up, I reckon it's going to be a really big challenge. And now let's move around to the left a little bit where Mazza is pushing out.
Maz has been trying to break through this for a little while, but the good use of the T1 units there, just collecting a lot of those Arbicus, has been very nice. Quickly going to jump back to the top spider in the back of Potato's base. Medusa's firing onto the blitzers, but the damage just keeps getting done here. And Potato is unable to get more economy down packed. He's unable to get any sort of defense force running. It's just continuous pressure from Dominus and from Morning Phoenix, making it very, very hard for Dominus, but he has to hold on as long as he possibly can if he wants to protect his allies. His allies, speaking of which, Oodles is getting up into the base of Giallo right now. Good amount of Sheldons, but not too much frontline here. So those T1 units have the opportunity, but they are being kited right now, which is what you want to see. On the bottom right hand side, we do see ourselves. XR1 is now getting his aggression on. We did see some aggression out of Avalons from the beginning of the game, but it was just a single tank, not quite enough to do a lot here. Good call on the ticks. The ticks are actually going to be quite good against the cleavers and the Medusas, but unfortunately not a lot of numbers here just yet to make the difference.
Great to see XRT. Also, the other 3 Chev player out of the Kings doing quite well there, and against such an experienced commander. Avalon's the second highest OS in the game. Potato again, still being harassed. Just every time I zoom out, I'm seeing pink and red around his base.
Look, you just can't let up in this situation.
Yeah,
you absolutely have to do.
Great tactic that could be used by Mags down the south against Mr. Let's just say the purple commander. He's got arbiters in the base, and if you just go and plant some of your faster units in and amongst the base, he's going to do damage to his own eco. So that's probably one of the best defenses. Attacks is just to allow them to do their own damage. Problem though, he is quite low on energy, relying on overflow from his teammates, which he's getting a lot of, and he does have a couple of bulwarks, so it might actually take a little while to push this.
Those bulwarks are going to slow things down a lot. We don't typically love them in these game modes because of how expensive they are, but once you've got them up and when you're going against T1, they're going to to pay for themselves eventually.
You know, Potato has been doing so well to hold out, and he could be the reason why this game might get won by Kings. You can see to the left, Oodles has now cleared out 2 of his 3 opponents. The only triangle that had 3 opponents is getting the Twitches out there with res bots to reclaim the energy. He's going into T3, so that's probably going to be Kargis or something similar, and he might be able to sweep around to that right hand side there and even the status quo. There you go, another commander goes down. That's just about as good as done for Taxman.
Yeah, it's genuinely crazy how long Potato is holding out here. Morning Phoenix trying to get the comm in for the detonation, but no invisibility against a Chimera. That's not going to work.
Now, the best thing to do is put those hounds between the lab and the Chimera, so that they can't receive any more damage.
Yep, but then they'll be in range for the construction turrets. Is going to get so close. Nearly managed to get one of those construction turrets. it would be crazy if Potato actually manages to win this, but it is getting harder and harder now that there are hounds in the back of the base.
And
That's
I'd
the
love
first
to,
of the metal extractors down. They're now firing onto the fusion reactors. If the fusion reactors go, that's gonna be it. But just I've noticed there's been a lot of mixed target priority in the back of this base. Those hounds have switched targets so many times that nothing is dead.
they just really need that Chimera to die. Potato is just holding on, and now Oodles is working around. You can see the orange base over from Daoshi Bag is having to reassign what's important. Getting up these Scorpions is great, but I don't think there's enough. But the Mammoth's really going to do well at holding some of this back. Unfortunately, though, those sumos are just so tanky.
The sumos. There's too many sumos in front of this.
Citizen 3 doesn't have the energy to run those sharpshooters down on the right. They're just not shooting. You really need to make sure you have enough energy storage. While energy's at 6, they're just not going to do their thing. And that's going to mean that his ally is just going to completely fall. And those sumos are hardly taking any damage.
Yeah. I don't know what they changed throughout the sumo, but the sumo's gone from a unit I would never build to a sumo I'd like in front of every army.
You can see now Oodles is building up those Shivas slowly, and I think they're going to go and help out over here. I cannot believe that Potato is still alive. I don't think it's so much like he's done well, but I just really think what you were saying before, the targeting was just not done right. Just take out the build power and then worry about killing everything else. He's just been able to hold on, and that lane has just not been lost.
I agree, but also the way that the build power is tucked in, every single time they tried to go for it, they couldn't get an angle on it, and things just and then the units would just fire on whatever. Sometimes, like, there was a huge pack, there was a big pack of hounds out here. They could have just shot anything, and it would have been enough. Taking out this fusion would have blown up the construction turrets, and that fusion got down to 20%, and then the hounds were in here for another 15 seconds. It just it was an unfortunate set of target priorities, I think.
You know, having this one defensive pulsar in Phoenix's base is going to possibly save the day, because every shot takes out a Shiva.
Almost.
It's targeting properly.
If it targets right. If it picks the Shiva it can see instead of the Shiva it can't. There we go. So they're holding on, but they're also being attacked now by the quick shots out of Potato. And this time, less build power here to clean them up. So,
the time is now for Dominus to push through and just try and get a little bit more efficient with that. He definitely has enough to get through here. Just take out the Chimeras. We'll take out the build power first. Just essentially walk straight at it. Target the build power with the hounds on a ground command. I'm just zooming back out. It does look like Oodles has completely taken that south out now, and it's definitely in the advantage of the Kings. Purple Commander is still. This is a game of holding on. No, is this going to be the first time in a while we've seen no Kings fall?
Possibly. It surprises me that no Kings have fallen, though. That is with what was up against them, it really shouldn't have been. It really shouldn't have been this way. But Legion makes for an interesting game because people aren't used to Legion. And there we go. We're finally getting the build power taken out in the middle of Potato's base. I think we're gonna get the fusion as well.
Still got his commander just there. Oh, it's been rezzed. Okay, the second fusion goes down, so his energy production is down to 107. That essentially is going to turn off all his metal as well. Commander is not staying alive. A couple more shots and it goes down.
But still, a hold's a hold, even if you have no energy. And I reckon they're going to be hard-pressed to kill him before those Shivas are across the map. Dominus. I feel like we might have had a clone Dominus, because it's almost impossible to hold a lane against him.
Yeah, he's not worked out for him. And having to pull all those units back now, and to be honest, I wouldn't worry about it. I'd try and take out Potato. because there's no chance that you're gonna.
There's no chance that you're holding this. Not hounds against Shivas. It's like hounds against fat boys. It's not gonna do very much.
What a game!
I actually can't believe that. I thought that we were going to. I thought we were going to see the purple player fall as well as Potato, and I also thought that Oodles was going to be in trouble just based off of how greedy his build was, but just enough to survive. And at the end of the day, just enough to survive means you built the right amount of economy.
Thanks. And wow, a frontline Aphis for XR1ST as well. Holy moly! And it's Selenis can see this player view. You can see it's there. All he needs to do, he's got them now. He's got Arbitus. They just need a ground target that. And he's even got conversion right on the edge of that. So one Arbiter shot takes that out.
Oh man, with conversion surrounding it, yeah, one Arbiter shot would take that entire Aphis out. But unfortunately, that was the last com. So congratulations to the Kings. Your holding and your risky strats are paid off.
Well done, well done.
Battle ended.
Juicy. Okay, I think we're going to take this one. If we've got a mod in the lobby, we're going to take this one over to. Yes, we do have flow here. Take this over to Throne.
Very nice indeed.
Nightmares here too. Full house.
Full house. And it looks like, yes, the overlay does work. Excellent.
Okay, is this going to open up? While we get that going to update that you've got it for.
Ooh,
Give me a sec.
very nice.
Installing myself right now. That's in TPT.
Ladies and gentlemen, the lobby has crashed.
Well, Pradeth, yeah, well, Pradeth. Oh, cool. We're multi-stream as well. Welcome. Send myself a tip. Right.
Oh dear.
Sweet. All right. Yeah, while Pradeth's doing that, and while the lobby's being rehosted, so October 25th, 2026 is only relevant to Aussies and extremely dedicated people that can afford plane tickets to Sydney from overseas. We have our first bar LAN event in, I don't even know the name of the place. Sponsored by Fortress. It's in the in one of those arenas. Those cool gaming arenas. Set up this lobby. Yeah, so it's one versus one tournament hosted by CDU, Commanders Down Under. That is a bar community, not the name of an adult film. And it'll be great. Check it out. I think tickets are like $20. Correct me if I'm wrong, Pradith.
Good question. What I do know is that they give you 10% off of food and drink at the Fortress Sydney between 22nd and 25th of October. plus a free 1 hour LAN pass. So I can't tell you how much they cost, but I can tell you what they give you.
And yeah, if they manage to sell out the 64 seats, it pretty much means that it will happen again in the future.
So please do make sure that they sell out. Because we would like these to continue on in the future.
My brother lives in Sydney, so maybe in the future I'll go and help host one.
Oh, you should send
Just
you
go
should
together.
send your brother and make him play in the 1v1 tournament.
You know, Supreme Commander, I was quite good at that. Supreme Commander 2. And I'd bully my mates. Great at RTS. He almost never plays video games, my brother. And he came along and 2 versus 2 or 2 versus 1, I can't remember. And he just walks his commander across the map, wherever he started, and just detonated on my column. And I lost the game. It's like one of the only times I ever lost a game. And it was against my brother. So don't doubt him. He'll come up with like some different tactic that will win him the game. All right.
Oh man,
Pornographer,
that's
thank
the
you for
sort of
setting
thing you
these
need
up,
to
by
do
the
to
way.
knock Twig down a peg. Just remember, if you're playing with him in the 1 versus 1 tournament, and you want to knock him out of the brackets, just do something like that. It would be funny as hell.
All you need to do against me to win, build anti. Hey, thanks for following Star Pirate. Small is requesting to be a king. You can be a king, Small. Join team 2. Are they locked? Or are we having problems? Okay. No. Yeah, there you go. Everyone's joined. It's just sitting there with 100 bonus, making you think that you've got the win. We're going to bump this bonus up because there are quite a few new players here. Someone doesn't like it, Bradith. This map reminds me of my recent swoop. Awesome. Thanks, Faceless Prophet. Now, Prey, are you actually going king or have you disappeared? I think you've disappeared.
Sorry, I was just having a coughing attack. I was mostly just checking, and then it So we do still need one more, but if we don't have one, I will jump in so we can get started.
There we go. We got there. Now 1, 2, 3. No, 2. Yeah, okay. Now 48 bonus is pretty spot on actually. Not currently using Psycho's tool because I've just got this other scene up. But Psycho PP has a tool that helps us determine these bonuses. Yeah.
I was actually playing around with that the other day to see if I could use if it was quicker to take a screenshot, shove it in an AI, and then have the AI populate it, but wasn't able to get that to work in the very small amount of time I spent on it. Because while we're hosting, it certainly isn't the easiest for us to split our attention.
Yeah, I definitely don't have a mind for multitasking at all. Okay, we're going the smaller drone, smaller one. Don't mind that. There is only 37 peasants.
Mm-hmm.
So this
I
isn't
still
a
think that
mistake.
if you put enough people in the dry sea, you could probably out heal the damage.
Right, this is just going to compress the peasants into smaller areas. Hopefully we see a
Yes.
bit more communism. Hopefully we see a bit more pressure on the kings, but at the same time the kings, the bonus is an extra 3 usual, more than usual.
We will see. We know the throne has been quite a volatile game mode, game map recently. The kings have either managed to do very well, or the peasants have managed to do extremely well. So hopefully we'll see a bit more balance. But again, it's always worth noting that on a map like this, where the kings are in such a small space, you only have to break the kings in one spot to win the game.
We are making history by upping the prize pool to 1,000.
I just got messaged by Silver Sand, the host of the CDU LAN. He's just said the prize pool's been up to $1,000, which is Australia's biggest RTS LAN prize pool.
Very nice indeed. We'll have to update the graphic. Let me see if I can do that real quickly. We're not checking. You can give me a minute before we start, Twig.
I don't think I'm going to be able to edit it that quickly.
Oh, I can definitely edit it that quickly. Don't you worry, I'm a pro at this.
It's going to be, I'm going to see a paint markup, aren't I? In fact, I'm going to do the exact same thing. Where did I save this? Do not start the game yet, Crota. Give us 30 seconds. We're going to race to see who gets it done faster. I don't remember where. Where's that?
All right, let's update it in the UI.
Oh, you are so much faster than me. Not even, not even opened
I
chat
made
yet.
it the first time. There we go. It's already updated in the UI. Yes. Oh yeah. $1,000 prize pool, ladies and gentlemen, and the professionalism is out of this world.
I got to figure out how to change the color of my writing. There we go, red. 1,000, 1,000. Feel free to start the games, don't mind me.
Battle started.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to King of the Hill on Raptor Crater, and what you're seeing is a very lavary Raptor Crater because we've taken away the dry sea. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, all the peasants have been compressed into a donut, and now they must work together to take on the kings. Kings have a 48% bonus today, and they are going to need it because we know that peasants crammed into this smaller space. Well, they have all their resources to bring to bear. There's no one in the dry sea that's starting to ramp up for that 20-plus minute game. Joining me in the casting booth, we have Twig, who's currently editing a image for the stream, so he'll be back shortly.
I'm done. I'm not that bad. It's up.
I reckon it'll take him another hour at least. He's crossing out 300 and replacing it with 1,000 in paint, so we've got a bit of time. Got a quick pause over here. I think it's back to normal. All good. All right. Oh, there's no fog of war.
Is that what the problem is?
Ah. Oh, well, that's interesting. How did that happen?
Odd.
I feel like that puts the kings at a pretty big disadvantage.
It does. Is that in the settings? The Stable fog of war? Can't see it disabled anywhere.
Yeah, I think something turned it off.
Maybe we can get it
At the
turned
beginning?
back on somehow.
Unsure. Interesting. Well, we better make a call. Either restart or play
it's
regardless
there.
of what happens.
It's fixed. It's fixed.
Okay.
You select a player. Yeah, it's now turned off. It just means that everyone knows where their first wind turbines were placed.
Oh no! Not the wind turbines. Whatever will we do? All right, ladies and gentlemen. After that chaotic start, this is King of the Hill. 10-minute no rush time of the lava drops away. No structures to be used offensively. That includes Junos. Just keep those for defensiveness. Trust me, you will probably need them. Kings need to get themselves up to a good economy and a good defense, and the peasants need to work together to push forward. We're going to see some interesting co-op around the map, and hopefully some good games overall.
And see here, we don't see this very often. It's Salanax in the middle, helping Small get that T2 lab out by assigning their commander to the lab. Unfortunately, though, with just those 7 win down the hill there, not really contributing that much. Almost overflowing in metal. Got to get that OP energy up.
But hey, it's a good strategy to get the king rolling a little bit more, as long as you can defend your rat.
I'm going to take my eye over to the right-hand side there. Dominus almost always plays as a king on this map these days, but he's gone. But when he doesn't, he's over here on the right, next to the Geo, and getting commie help from. We see a lot of familiar names here: Inexorable Raven, Taxman, Morning Phoenix, Zerom, Mazza, all sending their eco. I think even I Kill You for Fun's helping out too, and the Fringe. Yes, this is going to be nasty. Geeds, good luck. Geeds, luckily, 45 OS. Highest in this game right now, I think. Yes, by far. But OS means nothing when it's against these AllReasonNoLogic crew. They are going to punch out a lot. They've already thrown out the T2. They're reclaiming the T2 lab, and the geothermal power plant's probably going to go down. Be a spicy one very soon. How many T2 constructors are out? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, they punched out 3 before reclaiming it. Just tapping everything. I'm surprised they didn't tap the geothermal power plant though on the right.
I mean, maybe they're scared it will explode and they've been playing too much Krakatoa recently.
Amazat, do I hear a voice of a Hogs of War streamer, or am I mistaken? Ray, do you have an alter ego that I don't know about?
No, I don't run a separate YouTube channel and do other things on it at all. Yeah, moving on.
Take that as you will. T2 going around these geo positions quite consistently here. We're at 4 minutes 40, so all but the far right, top right, look like they're quite far into that T2 stage. I correct myself, on the bottom we don't even have a T2 lab going down yet.
Interesting. It's working together as a peasant is definitely the is definitely a requirement for victory at this point. The kings have had to deal with it for so long that they are ready for a lot more than they used to be, and without any commie, it's going to be a problem.
Dominus now just finishing off that advance. Spicy Geo is going to go into 2 fusions. I'd love to see a T3 lab go down after that with a couple catapults. And then spam out of every other player, and then sending all their commanders forward. I do not know how the Kings stopped that on this tiny map. Tiny version of throne that is, where these hills nice and high.
I can beat it.
Yeah, you probably could. You do like defending on these lanes, especially when you build stuff like pulsars or bulwarks and you just target the specific units. Also getting out a couple specters or ghosts can be really beneficial as a king, just to go and freeze those first few waves.
A couple of the really useful things that I've seen recently is if you go Cortex start, getting a couple of the are they bedbugs?
Yeah. Or you're talking about the ones that go invisible.
Yes.
The ones that go invisible are not bedbugs. They're the, why have I mental blanked? The scuttles. The scuttles. Small, really bottoming out on energy by building the conversion at the same time, and just not having anywhere near enough wind has really taken a long time to get up to that fusion start stage of the game. And you can see it actually even being outscaled by 2 of the 3 ramp players who only really get 2 mexes each to start with. Even Oodles getting their fusion down around the same time over on the left there. So really important to make sure you balance that eco when you're scaling as the eco player, because you want to see either an APHIS or a couple fusions and T3 out of this player at the 10-minute mark, or a lot of T2 units.
But at the end of the day, because of the handing out of T2, you're always going to slow down just a little bit. So
Okay,
it's just one of
so-
those 6 of one, half a dozen of the other situations.
Just selected the kings, and you can see the bonuses there between the 20s and 50s, couple up to 80. Oodles is currently reclaiming something, so they're doing quite well. But Dominus over on the right hand side, currently at 73 metal per second. No, 85, sorry, 85. So that's quite good at this stage for a peasant. That's going to hurt.
Yeah.
Who's going to get the first Aphis down? Surely it is going to be Dominus. We missing?
I mean, with that
anything else
much
on
build power, yeah. As long as he can keep metal fed, and you can see his metal's going up, not down. So that's gonna be a completed Aphis before anyone else on the map. Which, to be fair, with this many players working together, it's what you would expect. But peasants definitely gonna need. Kings definitely gonna need to ramp their economy up if they're planning on surviving with that much economy out on the field.
Are the kings going to build units? Because that's the other thing that could win this. I think they're almost mandatory. Only one king starting to build units, and there is only 1 minute and 30 seconds left. That's XR1 ST. So XR1 going to Fiends to start with. Has queued up 15 of those. Should be nice at helping defend against the spam.
What are your thoughts on ongoing Fiends? Because I've noticed that they end up being quite expensive for the amount of damage they get done in Kings.
The 200 metal, which is not a lot. You compare that to let's look at a mace. A mace is 130, so an extra 70 metal, and you got a fiend instead of a mace. I don't think they're that expensive. I personally like them because they got the self D command available.
I just noticed that a lot of times when they're built for defense or offense, they end up trading less efficiently than you would hope, considering that they're T2 units. Because there's just a lot of units full stop in King of the Hill, and there's a lot of open space and a lot of lanes, so it's I don't know, it's one of those ones where I used to run them, and then I just stopped after I noticed that they just weren't getting the job done anymore. People are very good at dealing with fiends. Comms are good at dealing with fiends. Even the T1 units, other than specifically the grunts and the pawns, are good at dealing with the fiends.
You can just see the Oodles had a beamer taken out, so I've just added in 2 wardens. Guys, don't build offensive structures.
Just a slight interesting thing. Citizen 3 on this bottom wing. Everything that's vulnerable in his base is worth nothing.
That's a good
He's moved
base layout, actually.
Yeah, it's a really interesting base layout. Almost all the build powers where it should be. Only the build power that's being used to build the defenses was actually really, like, it was strategically placed very well the entire time. What an interesting build. But we have hit that 10-minute mark. We're looking for that aggression right now. On the bottom left-hand side, we're going to see our first little skirmish between a couple of hounds and the maces. But it is going to be this right-hand side. We've got these scouting forces coming in, the grunts having a look, and there's enough to push this first wave back. But there's definitely a potential weakness here, especially with comm support. A lot of the defenses are focused on this mammoth, and the mammoth is not going to be here anymore.
Those fiends are there, and they will take out a commander quite easily. So I would actually love to see the commander just self-D right in the middle. Oh! Is he gonna?
I think you're gonna get your wish. There it goes. It's cleared a pathway, and now we've got more potential, another potential hole. And I don't reckon the Kings have enough to stop this if the peasants just run straight on in.
All right, here we go. The fiends are now coming in.
And unfortunately, Citizen 3 going for that 4th fusion instead of trying to help the defense. Geeg's getting some really good D-guns off there, and the comm lives. That might be just enough to hold this back for the time being. Very nice. Though with 3 comms coming up the ramp, certainly going to be a bit of a problem. Geeds needs to get that invisibility on and control D in the middle of that pack. Though it does look like between the tin can. Wow, 4 triple comm detonation. too close by.
We've had the peasants pushing really hard on this. Oh, they're still going. These fiends are non-stop. Okay, so we're testing out what we've been talking about, fiends and comms and...
Look, I'm even if they
things.
succeed, I'm actually going to stick with what I said, because the amount that have been sacrificed just to break what amounted to a couple of other fiends and a couple of dragons moors, it's a very expensive way in. I actually reckon that if it had been less less of the sumos or something similar, it would have been a more successful push from the gate. Because as you can see, these fiends are coming in a line.
Okay, well,
and
they're not being microed well, so...
No, but even when they were in a group at the beginning, they still... I don't think that they were as cost effective as a lot of other combinations could have been.
What do you guys reckon? Do you reckon fiends are worth it? I still reckon 200 mil per second perfectly worth it if they're microed well. So if they even got grouped up into like 3 or 4 instead of 1 at a time, then they probably would have taken out that last fusion and let the reset gauges. Over on the left, we have seen the opposite oodles pushing out into one of the probably slightly weaker. Oh, we're going to see a boom. If they're trying to take things out, that advanced geo just annihilated a player's economy. No D guns available there, and there goes his comm.
Nice work from the sniper. And then on the top side, Kings are outside of their defensive zone as well. The Warden's doing a good job of keeping the T1 back, and the Thugs just continuously pushing out, though I don't think the Thugs are going to make it that far. It is the Dominus lane right now that is the contention point as the Shivas try to push in, but with Fiends and Sumos and a comm, they're having a bit of trouble getting through. I also think I just heard a sniper as well, maybe. So we will see how long this area can hold up. We do see peasants, though. They're not going to just sit and wait. They've got spiders coming up the hill, though the spiders have been identified. Shivas firing on them from the low ground. Early D-guns out of Citizen 3, but they are very good ones, with only 2 surviving, so really good catch just there. Bottom left of the map, we do have the Razorback that's now getting out into the left side. Fusion reactor is not going to last long up against that fire, and with the grunts being the only thing coming in, and they're not coming in large enough numbers to really surround the Razorback, I feel like that's going to be not good for the peasants. Winds, though, spaced out. Are they spaced out enough that they don't chain react? I think so, but the Razorback is just ticking that last bit of health away, so even with that spacing out barely lasting longer, snipers, right call here for taking out the Razorback, but there are not enough of them, and they don't even get a shot on target. Sporticus trying to take it out with the D-gun. Does still have the double fusion, so will have enough energy to do that, but instead has to drop the D-guns on the T2 units and gets taken out. This is one wing eliminated. Peasants definitely on the back foot, at least for the moment, but they're getting ready to try and turn things around.
Just a reminder for non-offensive structures, people, we just had a few LLTs built up on the hill there, taking out a bunch of XR1 ST's base. We must have missed the tweak this game, because they appeared to actually do reasonable damage to other structures.
Looking at the bottom of the map, we do have a large contingency of snipers that are doing good damage against Avalon's T2. With no T1 in front of them, those shots are firing for effect. Catapult going for those high ground shots up towards Citizen 3's base, but Citizen 3's base is not where it should be, so definitely not getting the value just yet. Demons on the top of the map, coming out from Stalanx, going for the T1 defenders here. Those T1 defenders are not going to get a lot of damage done against Fiends, though we are going to have a good amount of damage coming from that Cerberus onto them. You can see each one of those shots knocking a couple of % off. Still clearing out that little wing, and just Phoenix's comm. I think it's, yeah, it does look visible. Maybe, no, it's just been the grunts that are allowing it to take some damage. Still, that has been held off at least for now, and XR1 is in a bad spot because lost a lot of their base at this point. Does look like Spiders being the main culprit for that. Got to make sure that you've got those defenses nice and strong, and that you split up your build power, you split up your economy, so that you can keep yourself spread. Twig, what do you reckon about this Dragon Claw?
Yeah, she took
That is, yeah.
plus, that's an offensive structure.
I would agree with that entirely.
The late Picon as well.
Yep.
That's right, I can do it. I've already got the stuff selected.
There we go. Problem solved. Bottom of the map does look like the strongest defensive position for the peasants right now. They do have T2 units that are fighting against the onslaught of ticks. Those ticks are doing what they're supposed to do, which is get vision and allow the snipers to get shots on. Ooh, Pulsar nearly takes out a catapult. That was right on max range. Very nicely done there.
You know,
Bottom of
the Kings are looking very healthy at the moment, but the eco is still considerably ahead for the peasants, up 50% on energy and about 25% on metal per second. And zooming out, you can still see there is 3/4 at least of the peasants still remaining.
I feel like the top of the map is going to start taking some massive damage sooner rather than later. Triple Razorback with Demon and T1 support starting to move up towards the Twilight Eye. Twilight Eye's base super compressed as well, which means that any damage that gets done is going to amplify very quickly. As you can see, just a tiny bit of damage has resulted in that entire left wing going down. And now the Razorbacks are in.
Colton could have got the Razorbacks. Can it still get the Razor? It gets one.
Oof, but not quite two. The Razorbacks, though, not moving. Got to make sure you put those on fight commands if you're going to leave them alone or pull them back, because right now that
Cerberus.
Cerberus could be.
There you go. It just actually shot through them.
Alright, bottom of the map. Kings still under pressure here, but it does look like Avalon is starting to try and make a bastion just at the bottom of the ramp. First thing being built is a defensive pulsar. Then you can see that there's going to be some build power. This is going to give them the space they need to really expand on it. Oh my god, I didn't even see this. Avalon, front line APHIS. That is a dangerous spot. Oh, some excitement over here on the right-hand side for the Kings. Citizen 3 is about to be attacked. Again, large spider contingent coming up. There is a good amount of stuff here to defend it. We've got the pit bulls, we've got the comm in position, provided that the comm actually activates. Doesn't look like it's going to need to because the pit bulls have done enough still. That has given the Shivas the ability to target the defenses, so the next wave should come in just that little bit easier. Peasants are going to have to make a really concerted effort to break the Kings sooner rather than later, because the top is wrapping around more and more, and players defending their own bases with defenses and not enough to actually stop this, rather than working together to get the units, sacrificing a couple of players in order to build up enough to actually stop the push. But it's one of the hardest things about King of the Hill is the acknowledgement that your base may need to die in order for you to get a couple of units out to help the next player along. Because defenses are good, but it's not until you build up a force like this one, which is a large number of snipers, T1 units, and the spiders to really break that push. So Kings have managed to take out approximately a third of the map, I'd say, at this stage. So they're in a good position, but as Twig said, the economy is still well and truly in favour of the peasants. We'll just see how that spread out economy helps them or hinders them.
Good idea. You can see over to the right there of this battle that Michaelis is turning that advanced geo into a prude. That doesn't go pop. Good
idea. Very good idea. Because That's the last thing you want to happen, especially when you put a defensive pulsar next to it and you're one of the positions that's holding quite well. Now, Twig, you can see the defenses here that they've got spiders, snipers, and T1 units plus a couple of welders. What are you pushing into this with?
Anything that's got a longer range. Sharpshooters are going to take out most of the weaker P3, but a Vanguard will make almost all of this just go down really quickly. But you know what? Ticks will do well.
Ticks will do good. You know the real answer though? It's a trick question. Just avoid it. Just go around. There are other places to attack.
Yeah, a lot of sharpshooters take a lot to get through.
And they're slow, but they're slow though, so they're not gonna come anytime soon. So as long as you can defend against them, definitely worth. Oh, Twig! Just Phoenix versus one of Oodle's gunslingers just next to.
There you go.
Just next to.
That's alright.
We have a short about that.
We had just that where you took me out, I think, with a gunslinger.
So the gunslinger has more range and more speed, so it can duel a comm and win every time if you micro right. Now, some excitement on the bottom of the map. We just had a catapult try and get in range to take on Avalons, but the defensive pulsars managing to hold that one. But on the right-hand side, the catapults are starting to punch deep enough to hit the economy. Massive hit right there on the fusions. Something has got to get in and push these back, but with all the snipers there, that demon that's trying to push back the catapult just gets absolutely slaughtered. The answer is catapults for the Kings. Otherwise, they're going to lose a large economy in Citizen 3, and I reckon that Citizen 3's economy is close enough to start a chain reaction into Avalon's, and that could be the end for the Kings right now, even though they're so dominant.
Spiders on the north. If they go up over this hill, there's actually bugger all defenses here.
There's snipers coming to defend it, but they're...
I didn't see the sharpshooters.
Yep. But even then, they're grouped up, and they take a long time to shoot.
Oh, you know what?
They still got the conversion,
they got the build
and they
power
still got the build power, because the build power and the conversion were built together, so they were well worth it. However, the bottom of the map, Citizen 3 is up against Carganets right now. They have they've taken out just about everything. Comm is down. Geo is sorry, not Geo, the demon.
The peasants need to push into that. Right now it is 16%. Is so low on health. That Kagi just needs to beeline up for it. Unfortunately though, the fringe, I don't know if you can see it. Over you.
Oh man. Whew. This is getting tense for the Kings. You do not want units like this up on the top.
I think we've got that bug again where everything is visible.
That is a very big problem for the Kings because their economy is very tight. Shiva's now trying to push up into the middle of the map with catapults backing them up on the right hand side. Lots of damage is going down, but unfortunately there just isn't a lot of stuff happening out of the Kings right now to defend this. They're not here right now, and it's thankfully there's just enough to push them back, but those catapults are getting shots on target now, which is a problem. Small is very close to being getting his conversion tapped, which is not what you want to see. And it does look like the top of the map is getting a good amount of the metal reclaimed going towards the Kings, and that sniper force with the welders has just been doing a great job of kicking everything back. So Kings in rough shape.
Oodles has 10 Vanguards just trying to get out of the base. Someone's got to build power, and Avalon's needs to reclaim some of that stuff. I don't think he's realised as well. E3 just cannot get out.
Small on the outside of the base, reclaiming and building more facilities out there. Just remember, you do have to actually keep the hill alive. It's not good enough to be alive off of the hill, but it is a great opportunity to expand. I don't know, Twig. This one's pretty rough for everyone involved.
Our eco is now increasing slightly for the peasants. They're now 40-50% ahead. Small was very successfully expanding around the outside of the map, just rezzing everything. But now the players on the top of the map have started rotating back around, the peasants taking
Well,
control of that, and similarly on the bottom left,
Yeah,
Peasants
bottom
have-
too.
peasants have pushed right back around. They've got sharpshooters and yeah, oh, that defensive pole size just go right. These ones are a little bit far out, but we're going to leave them just because that whole area was obliterated.
I'm not worried about these ones specifically because they're not targeting outside of no man's land. But I don't want to see this wall push any further
You can see
forward.
there, there's pulsars shooting an LLT, and the LLT takes 1% damage, not even 1% per shot. So
That's interesting that the turrets on high ground did so much damage.
I actually think that it was chain reactions.
Spiders?
I think
Okay.
it was chain reactions that did it, like things just targeting.
I think peasants have actually got this one, to be honest. That's a huge force moving around the outside. That's going to easily clean up small space. If they see Oodle's base, he's going to be taken out too.
There's a lot of
The
targets
pressure
coming
on the
up here
right
now.
hand side is mounting.
7.
Avalon's has been basically reset, and with units coming up to fight Avalon's, I don't really see... I just don't think the Kings have got enough forces on this right hand side to keep up with the constant assault.
There's just so many catapults now as well. Well, there's not so many, there's 4, but they're just constantly firing, just taking out all the pork. These shivers pushing
And,
around the
like,
corner now. They could just walk in if
it's-
they weren't grouped up.
It's fantastic to have those bases outside, but they don't mean anything if you don't have the units to defend. And that's what we're seeing right now. And this is something which I talk about week to week. Unit retention. Yes, the Kings are holding off here with lines of units, but they're not keeping anything. Their army value is entirely static because it's all reaching a certain point and dying. The peasants are reaching that point and living, which means the peasants are going to build up and build up and build up. And, well, they're using that now. They're pushing in all those Shivas that lived. Well, they are... in the Wizarding world, they have a lightning scar, and now they're coming for the middle of the map.
Avalon getting some good D guns off there before losing the comm. Small walking his coming. There's another 4 or 5 in the background, but they're not.
Oh
short
no!
comms.
He tried to reclaim something, and it made him visible.
Bugger.
I reckon that was just a misclick, clicking on the ground. That could actually be the difference right here, because whilst the Kings are getting a lot of good damage on, all the build power on the middle of the map is gone. The APHIS are vulnerable, and
Yeah, here we go. Avis starting to take
here
a
come the
little bit of
catapults.
damage. Build power's just not going to get back down. All it takes is a couple Shivas here.
Demon's doing a great job of cleaning everything up, but the scouting has been achieved, the APHISs have been detonated, and the chain reactions have gone out nicely. Peasants in economic lead by about 70% again, and they're about to take out Citizen 3's lower APHIS, which takes out Avalon's APHIS, which means the Kings are now down to essentially 2 Kings on the map. Even though they've built up this spectacular force on the left-hand side here, it doesn't mean anything if the base falls on the hill.
Just king of the hill, not king of the low ground.
Yep. So all the peasants have to do is clear through Stalinex, and that's going to be it for them. They just could not hold this right-hand side. Oodles O. That is it's in the title, King of the Hill. Oh dear. Oh, this APHIS explosion this APHIS that's now being targeted by those catapults, that is going to clear the hill. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a victory for the peasants. Kings have what they need to clean up the rest of the map out here, but they didn't have what they needed to hold the hill. So that is That is it for the
I don't
Kings.
actually think
Congratulations,
even
peasants.
though the
Well
Vanguards are
played.
there, Spam's going to beat that. Once Oodles Commander goes down, there you go. The self-D taking that out.
Alrighty. Where are the rest of the comms?
Commander destroyed.
Only 2 comms left for the Kings. I can see one. There's only 1 comm left for the Kings. Where is that last comm? And there it is. Ladies and gentlemen, peasant victory. Congratulations. This is the first time, I think, that rule has mattered.
Battle ended.
Nicely done. Very nicely done.
Close one. Close one. Good.
Look, that
lobby setup.
honestly, if the Kings had been able to hold that one entrance for another couple of minutes, I actually reckon they could have taken enough pressure off that they could have won the game. But that is where it landed. So very nicely done.
Can someone tell me in Twitch chat, did you have the whole map visible from the player view that game, or was it just us from the moderator's perspective that it looked like there was issues with visibility?
I also heard from Chrono in chat that somebody was saying that there was a password on the lobby as well, so I think we might just have some lobby gremlins. Arxalot says yes, on and off.
Yeah, that's what we saw as well. Just came on and off at times. So
interesting. Very interesting.
Hopefully it doesn't happen again. All right, let's have we got a few more players this time? We're at 40. It's probably not enough for Krakatoa. We might have to do either a Raptor or we can go Throne again with the Dry Sea. You reckon? What do you want, guys? Throne with Dry Sea or Raptor Crater? Oh, no. Chrono's trying something new.
What is Chrono trying?
Okay, is he doing the flat top ascendancy?
Oh, nope, it's changed again. Oh man, I just saw my OBS. I totally forgot that we changed the...
Did you cast that whole one?
No. I changed it over to the Commanders Down Under lobby page, but I totally forgot that I crossed out the prize pool and replaced it with paint.
I
great.
stayed in that screen for like half of that last game as well. Apology, guys. I remember to put them back. I wish it was an automatic thing.
What we need to do, ladies and gentlemen, we need to somehow work out a way to get Twig a stream deck or something similar. He's only got about a year left of streaming in his before his wife leaves him. So we're gonna make sure it's a good year.
Okie dokie. Thanks for setting these up, Chrono. Real big help without Tom here. Tom's just decided to go and work, earn a living. Not very nice of him, but
that's all right. It sounds like there's a good chance that it will happen to me soon too, which will be not so nice for this, but it will definitely be nice for my empty bank account.
I'm just glad that you're not coughing every. I mean, you're still coughing, but not constantly like you were a few weeks back. And guys,
I now can.
all those
I can now feel it coming.
All those subscribers we've got, that all goes to cough lollies just to get through this shit.
Look, I can now feel it coming most of the time, so I can mute. I can't catch it every time, but I'm at least muting now.
Thank you, Chrono, very much. Went up again, and give Chrono a pat on the back for helping us out, guys.
Yep. Let's make sure bonuses are set as they should be. We need one more king. There we go. We've got him. Add bonus. Now the
Bit
big
more
question is,
experience up
after the
there.
loss, do we need a little bit more sizzle for the Kings this game?
There is a lot more skill up there this game.
But we do still have everything which made the game a loss on the bottom side.
True. All right. Let's just throw it up to like 52, 53. What do you reckon?
53 it is.
I'll start at the
There
top.
you go, ladies and gents. You're getting 5 more bonus. Doesn't sound like a lot, but it is. It genuinely is.
I like how we're just playing the bonus to the exact same people.
I'll go to the bottom then.
I've started at the bottom. Stay there.
Oh dear. Good times, good times.
All right. That should make this one quite even.
Good day,
There you go.
Psycho
Psycho's
Pew.
tool says 47. Thank you for entering these in, and feel free every game if
Yes,
you
to
or
let us
anyone
know.
wants to use Psycho's tool. Because we're just so APM stalled at this time of night at the end of our weekends. We'd love to be told the bonuses that tool works, because God, it's been close ever since we've been using that. Last week we had so many close games. Actually no, one was a complete walkover. That was like a very entertaining walkover. But yeah, we've had so many close games because of that tool. Thank you. All right, I think we can kick this one off an even 50 versus 7.
We can.
All right.
While we're loading in, I'm just going to disappear for a quick moment. I need more water to prevent the coughing.
Chrono, I'll let you do the force start so we don't double up. These guys are ready up the second you get in. There we go. Oh, we're actually going to remember the scene change this time. Being your PC is a little bit slow for Koth, is it? I know Tank Tom's had that problem for the last almost year. Hasn't been able to play Koth ever since the October 2025 update. But he's just bought new PC parts, and when he's back from his current stint at work, he's going to be building that new PC, and he'll be able to once again play and also cast looking at his screen rather than the stream. And Chrono makes a good point there. The last few weeks, ever since the recent update, they have been less laggy, so nothing wrong with giving it a crack. Just maybe do it as a peasant. Back on the dry sea. Hopefully we don't have the fog of war issue again. It's obviously just a bug this week. Any specific rules, I'm going to post them, even though they're in every intro messages. A few questions there in chat. I'm going to just, in the in-game chat, I'm going to just post Twitch and YouTube so you can see. Alright, we'll just wait for Prey to get back and then we'll kick this one off.
And I'm back.
I know when you're ready. Everyone has placed apart from one for the peasants.
Battle started.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to King of the Hill on Throne. You're joining us for what should be a spectacular match of 51 versus 7 with a bonus of 53 for the Kings. As per usual, 10-minute no rush, no air, no structures to be used offensively. Joining me in the casting booth of AllReasonNoLogic fame is Twig, and I am Pradith. Let's kick this one off.
That's right. I don't know about fame though. We've been here a while. Almost 2
Look,
years
it's
of King of the Hill. It's been fun. What am I famous for? Accidentally kicking players, putting bonuses on the peasants instead of the kings.
So
etc.,
in that
etc.
case, should I change your introduction to instead of AllReasonNoLogic fame, we should change it to AllReasonNoLogic infamy.
That sounds good to me. Makes me sound like a bad
Yep.
boy because yeah, totally got that vibe.
There you go. His wife will like that a lot. I heard she does like his bad boy side.
Maybe that baby number 2 will come. Might get laid for the second time in my life.
Oh man, I'm not going to say it because we're on stream, but anyone who's from Australian Defence Force will probably know the terminology. I'll leave it at that.
Man, bear, pig in the middle. OS 34. Play with him regularly throughout the week on the unranked lobbies that I host. Very good player. So it's going to be good to see him up at the top of the hill. I haven't seen him on the top of the hill for the on Throne before. He's also got Darshi Bag, Geeds, and Ice Cube that we've seen as kings before. Also XR1 on the top there. Third game in a row as a king. Hasn't been king before, obviously has seen our videos or games and decided, oh, let's give this a go. And anyone can have a go that has at least some sort of experience or knowledge of how to play kings in AllReason. You don't need to be high OS. You don't need to have lots of chefs. As long as you know the basic build order, if you can get a fusion up by the 10 minutes and be producing units non-stop, you'll be fine to jump up there. And it's not too hard to learn because you can just watch one of these videos and you'll see the build orders.
Commander,
So one of the things that you and I tend to fall on different sides of the fence about is energy storages. You tend to get them religiously. I tend to get them on an as needed basis. What are your thoughts on multiple energy storages?
If there's a very I suppose this would be a good map example. 2 energy storages because the wind goes from 5 to 19. So what an energy storage will do, let me just remind everyone, if you reclaim anything, you get the metal back that it was worth. So yeah, winds drop down to 5.7. If you have 2 metal storages, energy storages, chances are your energy is not going to run out or that wind starts going back up towards the 19 there. But if you've got none, your mexes will turn off if you bottom out on energy. So that's where I think it is viable to have an energy storage, is just purely to avoid that stall of eco. Yeah, same as any game. It's not just King of the Hill. I've been building them more and more, but they do cost metal, so that's probably why you don't build them.
I don't build them because I forget, and therefore I pretend I'm on the opposite side of the fence.
Now, I just always like to have them as that safety as well for the commander for degunning. You can get multiple deguns out without stalling your base.
I think that 1 is a very valid argument. I can see potentially the reason for 2, but I think that if you're going more than 2, you're probably putting yourself a little bit behind where you don't need to. But at the end of the day, as long as you can get yourself to, as Twig said, that at least 1 fusion and units rolling out of a T2 lab by 10 minutes, then there is no reason not to use a build order you're comfortable with.
Okay, we're not talking much about this game. Around
I
the
mean,
map.
you know, it's the first 10 minutes. I like the fact that we have the opportunity to discuss things like that because in the after 10 minutes, usually it's just play by play.
Well, in the Twitch chat, we've been asked what are the rules. Let's
What are
quickly
the
go over them.
rules?
In this particular map, we have turned off tremors and T1 and T2 missile units. And that's just because it's so easy to just park them next to the even the T1 hovers. Like you can just park them next to the
Oh man,
hills and just shoot up
Do you-
over the hill, and yeah, it's a thing.
the week we banned arbiters, I'm fairly sure the first time that we had that up, someone then just went, oh, okay, I guess I'll use T1 hovers and did the exact same thing with the hovers, and we were like, oh my god, we're so stupid.
So
Oh, dear.
that got fixed. And other
Yep.
rules: no offensive structures. Thanks to Random Guy Jr., we have had a tweak added now so that structures do not do more than 1 HP damage to another structure. So if you have a pulsar and it shoots a T1 energy converter, that T1 energy converter will just put a band-aid on it and get on with its life. It'll be fine. And then finally, peasants, of course, spawning on the outside and kings in the middle. That one's yeah, a very big context clue. This juicy lava in the middle of the map.
One thing I will say, which is quite amusing, when we have these structures that can't damage each other, if Legion was able to build its long range T3 units, they also wouldn't damage buildings because they count as buildings, which is quite funny. Unfortunately, because they are buildings and we turn off the ability to build LRPCs and the equivalent, then it doesn't actually change anything because it can't be built. But it's still a fun bit of trivia.
We're going to see a repeat of last game. We've got Geeds on the right-hand side of the Kings defending that ramp, and you've got Dominus with the crew down on the right-hand side. Who's going to
Geeds
change what
does
they do?
have a little bit more of a bonus this time, and is going to be starting the match with a nice advantage compared to last time.
If it's going down, it's going to be building
Mhm.
4 energy converters. Now, Praetor points this out quite often. Got an Aphis, and he's putting down the typical 4 energy conversions, like 4 and 2, or if you had 2 fusions, one fusion, you usually put down 2 converters. The
You need 6.
you need 6 now because the bonus is at 50. Because the bonus is recognized everywhere. It is scaling. It is not linear.
Exponential scaling. The APHIS produces 50% more energy, which means you need 50% more converters, and the converters produce 50% more metal, so you're essentially getting a double effect. So instead of producing the normal 40 metal per second-ish, they produce closer to 110 metal per second when you've got yourself the plus 50 bonus.
Some of these
Twig.
geos around the map are now spicy. I'm very surprised seeing that some of them are not after 8 minutes.
That
Pray?
they should be spicy at 8 minutes. We do like the spicy at 8 minutes, and there's enough distance that they're not easily targetable like they are on Krakatoa. Now, Twig, what do you reckon? For defending, there's a decent idea that you're going to get pushed pretty hard when you're at these ramps. I really like these little energy converters that Michaelius has built on the bottom of the ramp. They probably won't do very much, but man, is it funny when you do manage to get
It's a
stuff.
really cheap mine.
It's a really cheap mine,
But it's
and it
relying
helps you
on
in the
this-
early game.
It's relying on the low APM of players, or the I don't give a crap attitude APM of players in King of the Hill, where they just send units in brute force. It's not as tactical as a typical bar game, or not in many aspects of it, where you just select all and then fight command or move command into the middle of the map, and that's what this player is relying on to make sure those converters take out their first line of ticks or whatever goes through there. Hitting one of those and you press space X, you can see that massive detonation range there. So the inner circle there is the damage that was done, that will get done if it's killed, and the outside one if it's self-detonated.
one of the things that it doesn't do too much against things like pawns and grunts, because they'll usually detonate them before any more than the front runners come in. But against ticks or rascals, these can actually be super effective early game mines.
5 seconds to go, and I am hearing some structures that need to be removed. I think.
It was a Lazarus that walked through the lava and went into range of the. So nothing to worry about there. Those are well and truly far enough back to be a-okay.
We're going to push out on the north. We're going to push in on the right.
Yeah, we don't see that often.
And they're going for that geo is so close to the edge up here.
Oh, juicy! Love it.
Going to go pulp. I don't want to miss this first push though. It's being scouted out, and this is good. They've seen this is not an entrance to push into. So
especially with those defensive persecutors, really good positioning, because they're dealing damage to the force as it comes in. They're an extra wave of deterrent.
Oh, that north is going to go pop. We're going to just put our attention up there briefly. Oh, why would you not go to the spicy geo?
Oh my god, the spicy geo, bro! Oh. There we go. No, the comms are deterring it. No spicy geo pop. Dominus inside the base right now. This is something that is ludicrously hard to deal with. You need to have ticks running across the front of your base. Another comm coming in to do the exact same thing. Geeds trying to defend, but the comms just throwing themselves at the problem. Definitely would recommend investing in the tick tech. And now there is a gap, and Dominus is... Actually, he's going to blow up his own forces this time round. Double explosion coming from Geeds and Dominus there, but half of the defenses down and plenty of units to take advantage of it. We do have Twin Guards coming up from Daoshi to try and defend more defensive persecutors as well, and we do have the Fiends. The speed is actually going to make a difference in defending right here. Man Bear Pig also getting into position, building pitbulls on the high ground as well. It does look like this attack, at least for now, is warded off well enough.
Man Bear Pig actually getting surrounded by the...
Oh my god, Man Bear Pig's comm.
He just got hit by, I think, a Sheldon.
Oh dear. Oh dear. This is rough to defend against. The Fringe comm going in, Dominus's last comm. That's gonna stop the offensive play for now, at least.
And a Panda on the left. Marauders out early.
Yep. You got to be careful with these because they are still reasonably valuable, but they're getting a good amount of damage off onto Razor. Unfortunately, walking away after he fired that D-gun, so no damage, but they can now get outside of the map, and they're going to be running into very little. Kit Kat getting into position to defend against them. You got to find those holes in the ramp, but King's on the offensive today, and we do like it. We do like it a lot, and the peasant offensive has been blunted with effectively... I wouldn't say it's no damage done because they did damage, but they didn't damage eco, which is the important part. It's just defenses, and that whole lot's coming back up. So a bit of lost time for the Kings, but that was a much heavier investment for the peasants than it was for the Kings. So nicely done.
Really interesting here with Independent. No defenses at all. Just making sure that ground is held by nothing but himself. Working well.
That it is. That it is.
Razorback on the right-hand side of Dominus's base. If there's no reaction to this, that could be a problem.
I mean, then they've sacked all the comms, so all it has to do is walk a little bit in, eating the spicy geo. Come on, Geeds. Find the spicy geo.
Make it a serve.
Oh my god. The Aphis is there. The conversion is on the right side. It's in vision range. Just shoot it. Oh my god. Oh my god. No, the conversion. The conversion. There we go. Oh man, that is
that's
probably one of the most valuable Razorbacks I've ever seen in King of the Hill, because not just for the amount of damage it's done, but what and who it hit.
Yes, Dominus now is essentially offline. I mean, they can res a few quickly, but let's say, when's this Razorback going to die? It goes down as I say that. All Razorbacks
on the left-hand side. The Razorbacks and the Marauders doing a really good job. and Panda has just stuck with the couple of fusions and gone into T3 units, and is using them really effectively. The Marauders have done a good bit of damage, but it's getting 4 Razorbacks up at 14 minutes and pushing through that's starting to do the really good damage. You got to be careful though.
Panda knows that you can go over many of these other spots. Staying inside the, he could push out quite easily. We got options up here. We got options through here. You don't have to go up the ramps.
Yes, but you know, at the end of the day, he's not losing them, which is a victory in and of itself. He's getting a lot of the T1 stuff down here. If he can grab some comms at the same time without losing any, Lindron does not have the economy to be marching in right now, which means that is another comm down. Unfortunately, though, that probably might make them a little bit less cautious. They're heading straight for Avalons, and I don't want to see these Razorbacks go out because it's such a hefty early investment. So it is important to control these areas, but it is more important to be getting damage done on the rest of the map. Keep those nice and spread, and make sure that you take everything out. Doesn't look like they can see Avalon, and they're going to be walking right in among it. This could be big D guns for Avalon. He is 1-2. Does take it out with only 2 down. Look, it's a win-ish, but it's also a rough one. And it does mean... Look at the map, though. 16 minutes in, and even though there's been some really good work, the Kings are still stuck in base, and any investment in units at this point has been minimally effective.
More Razorback harassment on the right-hand side. The Fringe failed to, unfortunately, de-gun that Razorback. AFK just at the wrong time, but there is plenty of pressure on the Kings on the top. So even though you see a lot of pushing out, not much pushing in, essentially all the peasants are still alive, more or less. Huge amount of pings on the right hand side. That is just because there's no one reacting to this Razorback. We talk about it every week. You don't need to wait for units to be in your base before you react to them. You are more than welcome to build units and save your neighbor.
In the dry sea.
If you were at home and saw your neighbor's house on fire while they're asleep inside, would you go let them know, or you just, you know what, don't even answer that, people.
I mean, look, I've got some jerry cans of gasoline, so I would help my neighbors. No, of course you do something. You'd call the fireys.
It's actually a true story. My dad and I one night when I was a kid, I still remember it. We both smelt smoke like separately. From I was in my bed and he was obviously in his, like midnight-ish, and we just both ran outside and sure enough, fire below my neighbour's house. Saved them. But you guys wouldn't, because you just let your neighbours die. That Razorback is just still alive. No one reacting. No one reacting. Come back there after it's got another 1,000 kills. Currently it's up to 120, 130, 140 kills.
He's getting the damage done, and he's about to pop into the back of Morning Phoenix's base. Maybe. Morning Phoenix is going for that bulwark, but what do we say about bulwarks? They take too long to build and they are too expensive. If he had come in up through the back, it wouldn't have made a difference. Pop-up turrets are the best.
The Quakers we don't see too often here. They're right on the edge of Mr. Ice Cube's base, and with all the T1 coming in as well, it's giving him good range, apart from that one Persecutor doing damage. But you know what? This commander is keeping everything alive.
Quakers are
even a little bit too close.
Quakers are one of my favorite units in the entire game because they are the definition of basically the StarCraft siege tank. They're big, they are slow, they can't really turn around very quickly, they don't fire backwards. But when you can use them effectively, they pump damage they pump damage better than Mausers, they pump it better than Hounds, better than having a mental blank, but the other long range unit that the Cortex have.
Compliments
Jeldons.
to putting this to the middle of the map. Man Bear Pig, I'm liking the base layout. It's incredibly neat. He's fitting a whole bunch of APHIS in, and he looks like he's still got a lot of space to use up there. Going for his next APHIS. They're coming down pretty quickly now, and T3 punching out with a lot of spam.
But top of the map now, even though they had the Kings, they had the Kings in a defensive position, it has reversed in a very big way. Razorbacks out into the dry sea on that side too. Spam coming through, cleaning things up. Behind, more Razorbacks coming. We do have a large amount of sharpshooters that are taking things out along the way. But they are not in position to... Oh, good job, Godmother. Managing to take out the Razorback that was headed towards the top of the map. But still, we have plenty outside and not enough defenses... sorry, not enough units to defend around the outside. Oh, we do have a pause. What is going on? On this side, we should... Nope. They keep Junoing our front line. Who does? Where?
Okay.
I think... Is that Geeds that's doing it? Yes,
Yeah.
Geeds is targeting that one. Okay.
Alright, you guys, I'll remove them while you guys...
They have been
resume
removed.
Alright, resume game, guys.
Battle resumed.
Alright, those have been taken out. But Dry Sea suffering some pretty big damage in the top part of the map. Now it's just down to some grunts doing it, but still those grunts going to get a good amount of damage done out there. Even with all that said, economy is still in favor of the peasants, and the Kings are only out on the map in a very minor way. Even this Razorback that's getting some damage in is being chased down by grunts, and it will eventually be killed by those grunts, because it is targeting other things before taking them out. It's stopped. Yeah. There it goes. Taken out. Twig, what do the Kings have to do here?
I actually reckon they're considerably big enough to push out. They need to probably pick 2 separate points to push out and defend everywhere else. So the obvious one is going to be on that top left. And then I'm thinking, yeah, prod and poke everywhere. Dominus's side is looking a little bit too defended with those. I say looking too defended with those Shivas.
There's a Juggernaut there.
There's a Juggernaut. And there's a lot. And I think this is going to push out. We're going to stick here for a bit. I'm going to...
Yep, yes we are.
Let's get a little bit cinematic and I'm going to just make this.
Those Razorbacks in the front are taking an absolute hammering, but they're getting the job done. And Dominus getting some good D-guns off. I think 4 of them got taken out by the D-guns, but that is basically the entire defense rolled at the loss of a handful of the Razorbacks, and now the Shivas are free. The second wave of Razorbacks is free. The catapults are free, and the Juggernaut is free to go through. Comms have been taken out. Damage is being done here. This could be the beginning of a massive, massive roll around for the Kings. Meanwhile,
we've got our 2 push-out points. Mind you, top left, that hole's been patched. As soon as Man Bear Pig is focusing somewhere else, where their units were going, gets filled back in, closed back out. There's a lot of Razorbacks though on the right hand side.
Yep.
I kind of feel like it was personal. Man Bear Pig and Dominus know each other, so you knew it was, it was a target. It was a target for sure.
Alrighty. Top of the map is really struggling to make a lot of headway. They've pushed out. They've carved a nice little channel, but the whole, as you said, the whole thing's been closed, and it's been closed well. Welders, Zars, snipers, the whole lot. It's raining down problems. There does look to be just enough T1 here to get into the sniper line, but the welders are now here to clean it up. So only a couple of those snipers do go down, and now it is. And there was nothing to back it up. When you send those T1 units in, you really have to make sure that you are that you have something that's going to deal damage back. Outside of the map, though, on the dry sea, bottom right-hand side, the Razorbacks are out and walking. They've found a king. They've found a peasant over here with the APHIS economy, but unfortunately, on their own and isolated, they're only going to be able to get a couple of units out before they are hit in a very large way. You can actually see
Nico, though. Come on, bro.
War Hunter, or Warhound, I think. War Hunter, sorry, is already saying sending units that way, which means that the Dry Sea is trying to help itself. Not to mention, Psycho Pew Pew has come online with a lot of Shivas, looking like he might try to cut off the offensive push over here. Interesting. The Razorbacks are going for the next wing, but in this iteration of the map, there's not a good spot for them to walk up, so they're going to have to go back inland, which is going to put them in range of all those Shivas. Now, the Shivas are not ideal against Razorbacks. A lot of their damage is in AoE, but in these numbers, they should absolutely crush these Razorbacks, especially with the Razorbacks coming in a line. They're taking all of those missiles, so that's a big, hefty hit. Wow. Snipers, on the other hand, are cleaning up on this top, in the middle of the map, on the right-hand side at the top. They are absolutely crushing down these T3 units. Not enough T1 supporting at the front. So it is becoming hard, but the Shivas on the high ground are now starting to get decent damage. Does look like some EMPs might be. They're not EMPs. They are Twilights stunning a bunch of these T3 units. Nicely done. Over here.
I've seen more of them.
Those snipers,
lately.
effective as hell.
I keep getting killed by the stun from the Twilights, and then being jumped on by nothing units.
Really clever. Really clever.
Chronographer trying to get some D-guns off of one of these three Juggernauts, but being a little bit unsuccessful there. Psycho Pew Pew.
Not quite.
I'd almost try and save all of those Shivas, because they're not going to beat them. Spawn. Spam the spawn.
The Juggernaut's such a powerful unit, but it also concerns me greatly because it just takes one comm to destroy all three of those. You need to have that spam with them so that the comms can't even get close. They have identified Psycho's comm though, so that one was taken down very quickly, which is good. The Titans have managed to break the line just above that as well. So we do have Juggernauts pushing down from the right-hand side and Titans pushing up from the right-hand side. But on the left, forces of absolute magnitude making their way across. Can the Kings defend this? Because this might be a good opportunity. The Centurions have gone in a little bit early. I would have sent the Centurions with the Welders and have the Snipers moving forward too. But the Centurions on their own are actually getting in a pretty solid way. Kings need to defend this, and they're not seeing it.
There is a Titan there, but it's not going to kill everything. And finally the Welders get pulled. If only that happened earlier, because the Welders will take out the spam better than anything else. There are only a few mammoths left though. We want to see those mammoths get in there. They're going to be the things that really do the damage. The Banishers are a really nice touch at the back there. They're going to do a lot of damage against these chunkier units.
All it takes is one entrance to fall, and the peasants basically win. And there's enough stuff here to really put the Kings on the ropes. Thankfully, though, it has been identified by ManBearPig, who's now sending everything down this way, but there is quite a long walk to make that happen.
Good call as well, move com. That's probably the best target here.
Oh,
to
yeah.
Make everything go pop. The sharpshooter
Does look like it has been defended, though. So, nicely done. Titans working their way around the map. They've missed the APHIS cluster in the very corner, though, so that's a lot of economy. We'll see whether or not that stays hidden for a long time. But the peasants are now starting to feel the same way that the Kings did last game, where the forces are starting to feel unrelenting.
You know, though, we are in the same position where the peasants are definitely ahead on eco still.
That's true, 30%, and it's been 30% for a very long time.
There are no radars
oh dear,
on this top right.
Bottom of the map. We didn't even see this. Peasants are in.
There are catapults. Full reaction now over here. And everything. Only problem is, the T3, the closest T3 that can get in is the Titans. You can see the ones coming out of the lab have to walk the whole way around the eco to get in. Oh,
And Panda's just lost his build power, which means that the potential here for damage is very high, but unfortunately, I think that too many of the high-value units, like the Banishers, just did not push in at the right time. They could have easily grabbed all of this from Daoshi Bag, which would have eliminated which would have eliminated a third of the Kings. It's 60% in favor of the peasants right now, economy-wise.
Geed's APHIS on the... Geed's taken over independent base by the looks of things. Those APHIS are about to go pop. There you go.
Holy. Kings are in a bad spot. 74% in favor of peasants for the economy. That is a doubling of that. In fact, it's jumping to almost 100% now.
There's still 6 Juggernauts though. Surely they need to push out. And if Galio's base goes down, a base that should definitely be reducing their own Juggernauts, that could possibly bring things back in favour. And I don't know though. These dry seas are starting to get big.
The thing is though, the Juggernauts have been pulled off of the offensive into Jalio's base. Jalio, one of the larger economies right now. The cleanup that's happening around the map is happening at the top of the map, and the top of the map, it just doesn't have that same level of eco that the bottom of the map does. So whilst the Kings are getting their licks in, the peasants have done significantly more. The Juggernauts, and this is again one of the problems with the Juggernauts are a fantastic unit, but they're so expensive that it's a risk to deploy them anywhere. They just have not been deployed in quite a while. They're just defending and holding position. EMP is coming down in a big way.
It's crazy. All attention goes down here. Now you look back in that top left lane again that was looking so good for the Kings a second ago. There is so much here for the peasants again.
Yep, they're just pulling the peasants left, right, and center. And on top of that, an attack onto the high ground has eliminated a bunch of things for Xeris as well. Looks like a bunch of potentially conversion went down here. Potentially some build power. The APHISs are quite damaged, so Kings are on the ropes, even if it doesn't look like it.
Catapults marching. Whose are those?
Juggernauts, though.
Optimus Prime Nut is targeting those. Oh, he's shooting them too. We might see a big pop for the eco here. Oh, we do.
Yep. There it goes. There it goes.
Target.
Just caught that one. Bottom of the map, though. Juggernauts are pushing in, and a bunch of them, I think. One of them just went down. The Juggernauts have pulled back. What keeps blowing up the Juggernauts?
I think they were just low health, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Considering
maybe there's more damage kicking onto them.
There's a shell there, so
yeah,
means it must be low health.
Yep. So
you know what? There are 3 pulsars as well, so they do quite a bit of damage. More than 3.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. So the Juggernauts just sort of bouncing in and out of the range of all of these defensive pulsars. Losing too many of them. Snipers coming up. Question is though, there's a lot of pulsar, but can they grab? Do they even know? I mean, yeah, okay, they kind of know. They just need to keep moving towards this big structured cluster. It just has to get close enough. It didn't get close enough.
Oh,
God
wow.
damn.
Oh, yeah.
See, oh my god, it did. But the APHIS live. The APHIS live. The build power not so much, but the APHIS live.
This is why I always put space in my big build power packs, even just one space.
But again, this is why I talk about Juggernauts as they are. That attack was what, 200,000 metal or thereabouts, and I just don't think you got 200,000 metal value out of those Juggernauts.
Res these. Oh wow, catapult. A single catapult's going to start killing all those pulsars.
Nice. And
there's a jug. This is actually going to go pop. I don't see this being stopped. Unless Rhodey's commander
there's 9 pulsars.
Yeah, but it's the catapults that are going to
take there's a lot less than 9 pulsars now. Yeah. There's 3 pulsars.
The catapults take this out. You sure? Oh, but they're not going to attack the moment.
But they're not. No, they don't. They don't take it out because the Juggernaut's not moving.
Yeah, the Jug has to move.
And now the Shivas have now they've been taken out. There's only one pulsar left. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, he's got it.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. No matter what.
There we go. That's the big boom. That's the big boom. I reckon that's the tipping point right there. I think the Kings now are in a much better position than they were a minute ago, which makes sense. They blew up a huge economy.
Well, actually, yeah, it's wow. Manbag Pig has 2 bases. It's
yeah.
Manbag Pig, and then we've got Dashi Bag and Geed left behind. XR's just bringing back their eco online, and same with no Manbag Pig is building another base to the left, and he's probably going to give it off to someone else. Ice Cube trying to get back online as well. Eco's still in the peasants' favour. Razorports are the name of the game right now. Army value in the favour of the peasants again now.
I still think the peasants have a shot because, again, they just need to take out 1 converter for Man-Bear Pig and 1 converter for Daoshi to start a chain reaction. Because, again, bases off the map are awesome. Sorry, off of the hill are awesome, but they don't count if the peasants take the hill.
Varan has rezzed a Juggernaut.
Nice.
South. If that just walks straight in, actually, it's going to come across another Juggernaut. This southern ramp is a problem. Once again, Man-Bear Pig having to divert all forces.
How many times has this southern ramp been retaken by the peasants and then, like, peasants kings? This one ramp has probably seen the most battles out of the entire game so far.
It's a bit of a slut. It's really getting around right now. Going either way.
Oh man. Looking at the map from our perspective, I'm actually seeing the Geed's blitzers as being quite effective. They're going to take a bit of damage walking through these sumos, but man, the DPS out of all of these. Oh no! Don't turn them around. What are you doing?
Razorbacks. He wants to take them out with the Razorbacks and then send them in.
Yeah, I don't know. I actually reckon they would have done a.
They just live.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Anyway, here comes the DPS. This is going to be a problem for the peasants because they're going to have to divert forces to deal with it. Diverting forces is not something you can really do when the fight at the front is spam versus spam, T3 versus T3. So it's going to be this is going to be rough for this corner's peasants. Rough, by the way, my word of the week. Because you can make a lot of puns when you're talking to dogs. Does look like a demon might actually get taken out by blitzers. Okay, well there's a Razorback there now, so it doesn't really count, but they certainly got a lot of damage on, and now they're starting to get in. Reaction has occurred, but the Razorbacks are close enough to going in. All he has to do is push down that corridor, and he's going to... Oh, actually, there's a Bulwark at the end of that corridor, so maybe not.
But we're good, we're saved. Oh, but there's a lot of Razorbacks. What the fuck?
Wave 2. Fight.
This tower defense game.
Yep.
Played this in the 90s.
Oh, man, I love tower defense. I love tower defense.
But unfortunately, those Razorbacks probably should have just hugged the edge of the map.
Yep.
They've gone right
walking through the forces. I don't really know what the objective is running them through the middle like that was. Because it didn't do very much.
Yeah, that
was a very expensive thing.
Who wins this?
Twig. Yeah, like I'm looking at this. The Kings are struggling to do anything right now at any of the places, though they are about to send some units over a hill. We'll see how these Cargonets go on the left-hand side. They should do reasonably well, so long as they never stop, never stopping. But there is a Mammoth and there is a Razorback there now, so they're actually not going to amount to very much.
Even
in fact, I don't think they're going to amount to anything at all.
Really important. I just want to check back into the top right. Scarv is up there with some res bots, just resing an Aphis. As soon as that Aphis comes back up online, we're going to see pressure out of this right-hand side again, and from the south, it's now being resurrected. You can see Psycho Pew Pew. One of the Aphises survived as well from that huge explosion. I don't know how, but it did. And the peasants, I reckon, are in a good seat. Despite how huge the army is out of the Kings.
I mean, well, they have 50% more army value.
Yeah.
The peasants are currently in the lead across the board. They have more metal, they have more energy, they have more army.
Damage value is equal.
So, and they also have more attack vectors, which is a really important statistic that we don't talk about enough.
Oh wow, Vanguard's going up over the hill, does not care that they are not frontline units on the right hand side. Just sending them anyway.
Just trying to get the damage done that you can. Taking a lot from that, they took a lot of damage from Daoshi though. The Com doing a nice job there.
Ooh, these 5 Titans walking south.
I mean, they're walking south into 10 Starlights and 4 Pulsars. They're going to get some damage done, but it's going to be limited.
Oh, I'm just thinking the Spicy Geo's still there. If they can get in range, they're so close to being in range too. They are in
I mean,
range.
they're in.
It just needs to be...
Can they see it though?
Target fire? No, they can't.
Yeah, and they're blocked now by a corpse.
Yep. Stop. Some conversion
Unfortunately, minimal damage. And this is why you can't send Titans without the T1.
Heap more Titans now coming out of... wow, that's a lot of Aphis on the right-hand side for Mr. Pig.
But it's so vulnerable. It is so vulnerable.
What I mean, as soon as... Wow, all that has... Someone build a freaking grunt. Scarf, build a grunt. A single grunt.
Left ramp, Titans starting to move forwards towards Ice Cube. Ice Cube definitely does not have what he needs to defend this right now. It's just basically T1 units with a couple of catapults and Shivas holding this ramp. That's not enough. At this point, I don't actually understand why we aren't seeing defensive pulsars out of the Kings, particularly on this top side.
Even, I hate to say it, the Cortex, even Bulwarks will hold back a lot of this.
And also, just another one, sorry, this is real quick. Manbear Pig right now is sending forces down the bottom ramp straight into hell, essentially. This is a lot of money. This is a lot of money.
Having said that, he's
and
been
it is
full on
achieving
metal for a long time.
Nothing. I get that, but not all the Kings are full on metal. Daoshi isn't full, Geeds isn't full, Ice Cube isn't full. I'm not saying... all I'm saying is that if you're going to send this much spam, you want to have vanguards behind it on flight commands.
Well, that is
at this stage in the game.
Up there. I just love that they're getting healed as well, and stuff is Ice Cube Zone is going to be a problem soon.
I thought when they took out Jalio's base, I thought that the Kings had this, but they've made no progress. And now the forces are just getting... It's now 150% in favor of the peasants' army value. Because the peasants are fighting smart. Army retention. The Kings are losing everything in every field of battle. The peasants are just waiting and accumulating and only losing spam whilst dealing with the larger units that the Kings have. Even though the Kings' economy is absolutely wicked for the number of players they have, they're not achieving anything with it. And here we go. I think, yep, here is a big attack on at the top left-hand ramp. The T1 is pushing in, the Shivas are pushing in, the Titans have moved forward to push in. The res bots are going and resing instead of healing because the Titans are at full health. And as I said, there was nothing here that could really stop this. Ice Cube going for the heroic play. He might be able to get an epic D-gun off of here. But nope, the Titans have spread back out again because of all of the... There we go, first one, only one D-gun going off over there, I'm pretty sure.
First
And,
fusion pop. Oh, do not pull back. Spooty.
Why? Why you pull back? All you need to do is fire one rocket, which, by the way, isn't... There we go. There we go. That's the middle of the map's economy absolutely gutted. 100% in economy in favor of the peasants right now. And even though there is lots of economy outside the map for the peasants, it is now 200% army value in favor of the peasants. It is 100% economy in favor. This push should end it all, I think. This push should end it all.
They went to the left instead of straight up the hill.
I mean, they're meeting up with the Karganeths.
Yeah. Oh, the demon might find a final bit of damage. Yes.
You want to see why they're meeting up with the why they went left? Look at what's coming. Look at what's coming, and there we go. Middle of the map has been taken out. Huge amount of Xerxes' economy taken out. The king's barely in control of the hill. Twig, this is crazy. We have not had a game where the peasants have kicked the kings off of the hill before without outright winning, and then tonight we're going to have 2.
Wow, it's been a good night of King of the Hill. It has been well fought by the kings in every instance as well.
Absolutely.
I thought multiple times they had this.
Me too. I genuinely did. When they got Jalio's economy, I thought it was just going to be a matter of time. But there was no army retention out of the kings, which means that the peasants just built up such a mass that it was unstoppable.
3 more AFIS on top of the hill there for Geeds, and then another 6 for Mr. He's left the game.
It is down to Daushi and Michaelius on the king's side. The others have seen the writing on the wall. They've done a lot to win. They've done a lot to try and win this one, but unfortunately, the peasants banded together too well. I loved the use of lots of Razorbacks in this match. I loved the use of lots of Shivas, but sorry, Poppy. But the lack of retention in the ranged units and damage over time units just meant that there was a very hard time for the peasants to win this one. Now, I am hoping that we do get to see this giant economy on the right explode, even though the kings have now been kicked off of the hill as of this APHIS explosion. I do want to see the peasants push over to the other side and grab those 2 blocks of APHIS just because.
Come and get it, big boys.
Just because. Congratulations, though, peasants. You played this one outstandingly. Kings, you really did make basically all the right choices until such a time as the game got so big that you are limited by your basically by the fact that there's only 7 of you. But congratulations to the peasants for a hard-fought victory. Where is that last com? Where is that last king com? There it is. And it does look like it is in vision right now, so should be taken out in a moment. Vanguard getting a good shot off. Ticks, though, for the win. Congratulations, peasants. Look at these economies. Look at your victors. Very nicely done. Let's have a quick look at those graphs. Damage dealt, as you can see, the kings doing a spectacular amount, but the peasants, as a whole, huge area under the graph. Metal produced, you can see Man Bear Pig outdid everyone in the game by a crazy margin, but one of the peasants did manage to creep their way right up into 2nd place. Congratulations. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching this one on YouTube, thank you for joining us. Like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff, and we'll catch you in the next one. If you're watching on Twitch, Twig, is this it? It's
a bit late.
It is quite late, and if we go another one, it let's see, how many people are in the lobby?
Raptor Crater's been loaded up. Whether we stick around for this one to the end or not, I think we can kick it off.
We will make a decision at the 20-minute mark. If we think that the game is going to finish reasonably soon, then we will finish casting it. Otherwise, we will tap out and let you guys finish it out yourselves without us. If you and for those of you that are watching, if you want to continue watching the game, I recommend loading up bar and watching as a spectator. But unfortunately, just at the moment, with how busy Twig is and how busy I am, it isn't feasible for us to do a particularly late night on a Sunday. When does your day start tomorrow, Twig?
5:30.
Pardon?
5:30 a.m. and it's currently 10:45 p.m.
Is that wake up or is that at work?
That's wake up.
So I am a little bit better than that. I have to be up at 6 because I need to be in town for a meeting by just shy of 7. So that is not a lot of sleep. Not a lot of sleep for either of us.
I'm going to talk to the lobby like a mother talking to their child.
Good day, King Jaos. So I do believe that Twig is controlling the. Yeah. So on Twitch, Twig and myself are AllReasonNoLogic. And we are the casters doing the casting at the moment. Alrighty, we need 9 kings. Oh, we're down to 34 people. Where's everyone gone?
I think we scared them off thinking that we were ending the thing. There you go, we got the kings. All right, cool. We can play this. We got this. We're just going to have a lower bonus this time. And I do have to keep my voice down for this when I have got the text. All right, it's going to be a bonus of probably down to 40-ish. Do 40.
Yep. There we go.
All right, we got our 9 kings. Bit of a smaller one.
Bit of a smaller one. This is going to be the smallest Raptor Crater we've tried in a long time.
We've almost done a DSD on this one. We'll give it. Is Twig AllReasonNoLogic? Yes, mate. Well, we all are AllReasonNoLogic, but I'm the guy that you have played with on unranked nights. It is me. I will be back in 30 seconds.
And while that's going on, I just thought I would spruik Commanders Down Under again. So for those of you that have already heard about it, and for those of you who haven't, Commanders Down Under is a 64-player tournament doing 1 versus 1s, being held in Sydney on October 25th, supported by Fortress. If you're interested, when you log into bar, there's that pop-up. You can grab yourself a ticket there. If you're in Sydney and you play bar, I'd highly recommend. especially joining as a player. There is no skill floor, so do give it a go, and it will be a bit of fun regardless. You do get some bonuses for going. For example, you get 10% off of your food and drink from the 22nd to the 25th, so that will be a good time.
You know, the Fringe
Um,
thought that Commanders Down Under was the name of an adult film when he heard about it before this.
I mean, I can see that. I can see why you would think that. Eric, we can't do anything about the YouTube thing. We don't have control over that one. I can stream to it, but I cannot make it. I cannot make it happen.
Unfortunately, with the YouTube, it's not like Twitch. Twitch, you just press go live on OBS and Twitch goes live, whereas YouTube, you need to accept the request to go live on YouTube.
Yes.
Are you in game? Because mine is not loading.
Mine is struggling to load in as well. It froze for a second, said it needed to close, but now it's back again and the loading bar moved. Just give it a minute. That could actually explain why people dropped out as well.
Yeah. And thanks for the thanks, New Grande. New Grenade, I should pronounce that correctly. If you want to thank us, hit that follow button as well on the AllReasonNoLogics, and also do it on the official while you're at it. Now this could be good for us, Prey. It's either going to be kings just walking all over the peasants, or I don't see the peasants getting huge, so they're going to invest heavily into just winning the game early. And that is the best way as peasants to win Raptor Crater, is just from the 6-ish minute mark, build units, cheap, spammy units, and just rush them in at the 10-minute mark. Just a scene reminder.
Check some. Check some. I appreciate your name. That's awesome. Good day, Zerom. I see you there in chat. How's it going? I see that there are a few people having a bit of trouble with the lobby. Yep. There you are.
All right, we have all amber and greens across the board apart from Jallio, who is red, but I can see his cursor moving, so that was weird. He's in now. We're all good. Oh, we got a Dominus in the middle of Raptor Crater. Don't see that usually. Usually going to bed at this stage. Okay. I think we can get a 4-star so that we can go to bed.
I think we probably can, yeah.
All you, chronographer. I think we can do it as well. I just might go.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to King of the Hill on Raptor Crater, where we've got 9 Intrepid Kings with admittedly a low bonus against 32 peasants around the outside. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, everybody gets a spot, and some people get 2. Alrighty, so quick rundown of the rules.
I really want to see it.
10-minute no rush, no air, and do not use buildings to attack buildings. Wow, I said that about as badly as you could be. I am tired. And yes, as Twig said, Commie Eco, just because there are only 5 of you in the bottom left corner does not mean that you need more than 2 T2 labs. You guys could work together to become powerful because you have many mexes. Same in the right, same in the top right, and same in the top left. You have the power to be great. Kings, on the other hand, have the power to be great every day, especially checksum. Great name, checksum. I like you.
I think the Kings have got this disadvantage. My vote's Kings right now. Just off the bat, like I'm looking at the OSs, the 7 of the Kings are above high 20s in OS. Sorry, 6. And Peasants, obviously we've dropped the bonus. We had like up to 65% bonus for the Kings recently to get the win on Raptor Crater. But 32 Peasants just not going to see anywhere near as much pushing from the left and the right. We're only seeing 2 players on the right, 3 players on the left. Oh no, Jellio, what you doing?
Dashy Bag is stuck at the moment. Can't build any mechs with my com. Jalio is having issues too.
Mm.
Can we force reload the Lua UI?
We can't.
Or
You
can
only do
oh,
it
but can
individually.
they? Yeah. Wow, this is happening. King Jaos says we should include nukes. Look, yes, but a nuke could end the game because of a bad decision, as compared to a series of bad decisions. And the point of King of the Hill is sort of a bit of a slog. The game mode exists to allow for some degree of end game shenanigans. It eliminates a lot of the instant win conditions, and it eliminates some of the things which are harder to deal with to facilitate a strong and even game between a small and a large group of players. Still not working. Jalio, you may need to leave and rejoin, is probably the...
Battle resumed.
Jalio is not able to build at all, which is why it's paused.
Don't ping. Okay. Alright. We might have to can it for the night, unfortunately. There you go. That everyone. Some people can, some can't. Oh, you know what? Someone has put in the actual no rush.
Oh, is that what's happened?
Alright.
How did that happen?
Battle ended.
Someone put in the no rush. No idea.
Yeah, it means they can't do anything outside. Okay. How has that ended up in the presets? That's weird.
I don't know.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's kick this one off, I think. We need one more king.
There we go.
There we go.
Okay. Good to go. Alright, what's the recommended level, Psycho? Kings haven't had a win, so alright, you good for me to start this one, Pro?
I am good for you to start it. It was 22. Wow. So the interesting thing is that once you go below a certain point, it's actually impossible for the Kings to win basically at all, because you lose your ability to scale up to any sort of feasibility by 10 minutes.
All right, I'm going to start this.
Yep. There we go.
All right, let me start it. There we go. Thank you.
There we go. Yeah, so if the economy is too slow at the start, then the way you sort of think about it is in the first 10 minutes, the bonus is the final stage you can reach by 8 minutes. After 8 minutes, you're sort of building units and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Every second that the kings are getting economy, it scales harder and faster over time. The example being that the difference between a plus 10 bonus and a plus 20 bonus is barely any additional stuff at the 10-minute mark. The difference between a plus 20 and a 30 is about 20%, 30% more additional stuff. Then the difference between a plus 30 and a plus 40% is about 50% more stuff, because so much of that scaling is needed in the first minute or two of the game to allow you to boost yourself forward. Because it's not a linear progression. It's having trouble loading in again. Interesting.
Welcome, Commander.
Right, I don't reckon I'm going to make the end of this one.
That is fine.
In fact, I think after this one kicks off, I might do the responsible thing and go to sleep.
I think we will do the same thing. We'll get this one kicked off and running, and then we will move on. Because I've just discovered that I have a wet dog I need to dry before I go to bed, because this noodle brain just keeps going outside. All right, shall we kick this one off?
I reckon we can.
I reckon we can.
Were you going to start that one, Pratus?
I mean, I haven't been starting them all night, but I can.
Sorry, I was just doing something.
As you
so
can see,
tired.
Twig and I have fallen off of a cliff.
Sometimes the body decides that's it. I'm shutting down, whether you're still awake or not.
Battle started.
All right,
guys.
ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us tonight. Apologies that we're having to end the stream at the start of a game. It's not our intention, but Twig and I, there is... How many more months until you finally have a home, Twig?
I don't know. It just keeps pushing out. I've just started
Just
thinking,
keeps pushing out.
do
Could
I
you
build a
imagine?
veranda before I do I put the post in the ground before I do the concrete? There's just constantly more and more
Oh,
comes up.
Could you imagine you're planning on moving into a house at the beginning of the year, but instead you just spend every waking hour building that house instead because it wasn't built properly? That's been Twig's life all year. It takes a toll. It takes a
Ooh.
toll.
Check this out,
So,
Prady. I don't know if you got my thanks to Steel, we've got this new mod broadcast. So going to and that fit, here we go. Nice. So while we are I think everyone can hear this.
it has a big good night in the middle of my screen. Was that intended?
Yeah, it worked.
How long will that keep playing, Twig?
30 seconds. Yes.
How did you do that?
This is fucking awesome. Like, I'm trying not to laugh loud because I'll wake up the baby. I kind of want to stick around and
we will play with it and confuse people with it next week. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure, and hopefully it will be a little bit more capable in the next one.
That was great. Thanks, Steel. I can't wait. I'm gonna find some more sounds. All right, guys. Good night.
Thanks everyone for joining us, players and viewers. Hope you have a very good night.
Beyond All Reason fans, welcome to King of the Hill by AllReasonNoLogic. Experience 2 or more teams facing off in epic scale warfare, where the Horde gang up on the Kings of the Hill. Kings start off with an economic bonus. They do their best to defend an onslaught after a no-rush timer expires. Test out your micro and defend against multiple players in variations of this game mode. Or be part of the masses. Team up with your allies to topple the throne in a glorious victory. AllReasonNoLogic, hosting King of the Hill lobbies, most Sundays. Join our Discord to be part of the action. See you in game, Commanders. Beyond All Reason fans, welcome to King of the Hill by AllReasonNoLogic. Experience 2 or more teams facing off in epic scale warfare, where the Horde gang up on the Kings of the Hill. Kings start off with an economic bonus. They do their best to defend an onslaught after a no-rush timer expires. Test out your micro and defend against multiple players in variations of this game mode. Or be part of the masses. Team up with your allies to topple the throne in a glorious victory. AllReasonNoLogic, hosting King of the Hill lobbies, most Sundays. Join our Discord to be part of the action. See you in game, Commanders. Beyond All Reason fans, welcome to King of the Hill by AllReasonNoLogic. Experience 2 or more teams facing off in epic scale warfare, where the Horde gang up on the Kings of the Hill. Kings start off with an economic bonus. They do their best to defend an onslaught after a no-rush timer expires. Test out your micro and defend against multiple players in variations of this game mode.